This video was brought to you by the Magic Candle Company. Stay tuned until the end of the video to find out how you can make your home or office smell like Thanos water. Trust me, it's not as weird as it sounds. You know, the title's never as intense as it sounds. It's less of a, what is going on with the Avengers E-Ticket? And more of a, what is going on with the Avengers E-Ticket? Now, what I'm about to say isn't really going to make a whole lot of sense, and that's all right. It doesn't have to. I'm going to explain myself. But it seems like we're entering Season 2 of the Bob Chapek era. 2020 and 2021 were Season 1. We got acquainted with him, we saw what he did, and now we're moving into an era where we all know Bob Chapek. We all know what he likes, we all know what he does. And now we have to see whether he's going to double down or do some things a little bit differently now that he's been sort of in that king's chair, what's that called, a throne, for 2 years. Now I'm gonna say something very controversial. Everyone cover your ears if you can't handle controversy, okay? I'm gonna be a bit of a shill here for a second, but I think I'm going to start giving Bob Chapek the benefit of the doubt when it comes to creative decisions, okay? Business decisions, now that's all fair game. Genie Plus, treatment of cast members, park experience, it goes on and on. But when it comes to creative decisions, I'm gonna start trying to be a little bit more open-minded. Chapek was the one who came up with the concept for Harmonious. I was one of the 8 people who liked Harmonious. Sue me, okay? I enjoy it. This brings me to what we're gonna talk about today, though, because I've just, so I could get that out of the way. The Avengers E-Ticket attraction that we've been talking about since D23 2019, okay? 3 years ago. What is going on?
At Disney California Adventure right here, the Avengers campus will be home not only to the Spider-Man experience and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, but a brand new E-Ticket attraction. Woo! Now, we've already given you a glimpse of the Avengers headquarters, but opening as part of the second phase of development will be an all-new adventure that put guests, or should I say, all of you recruits, into a test to thrilling experience alongside the Avengers. And for the very first time, we all get to step aboard a Quinjet and fly to Wakanda and beyond. But when you're around the Avengers, nothing really goes according to plan, so we'll find ourselves caught up in an even bigger adventure. One where we all have to step up, suit up, and team up. Alongside the Avengers in an epic battle to save our world against one of the most powerful villains they have ever faced.
Those are a lot of big words, Bob, big words. I think I only understood like 40% of that. But as we all know, since then, things have happened, things have changed, and Disney has decided to pivot the Avengers E-Ticket attraction. But what I want to focus on is this piece of concept art specifically from before the pivot. We're not talking about the Multiverse ride yet. We're going to get there. This is still the Avengers Quinjet E-Ticket we're talking about. Look at the size of that show building. That's multi-story. That's a very big show building. And I've seen multi-story show buildings somewhere else before. Like here, and here, and here. Something to think about. Something interesting. How much of this has changed? How much of this show building plan has changed? We don't know, obviously. But like I said, everything has changed, right? Not just the show building size, but the entire attraction. It's no longer going to be some sort of answer to Flight of Passage over at Animal Kingdom. It's going to be something completely different. And at D23 this year, Bob Chapek gave us a little bit of insight.
But we're not done yet. The Marvel team continues to expand its cinematic universe, and so today I'm excited to announce that the Avengers campus at Disney California Adventure is going deeper into the multiverse.
What? Oh?
To do that, we're going to be expanding Avengers campus, and the heart of this new area will be a sensational new attraction.
Oh.
Guests will be able to battle alongside superheroes and villains from anywhere. And there might even be some of you that are even aware of who these villains are. So those of you attending Josh tomorrow's D23 presentation on Sunday will hear a lot more about this from him, and along with Kevin Feige himself, and I know you're going to absolutely love what they've got to say.
Woo! I called it. I did call it. I did call it, actually. What really interested me at this point in time was this piece of art, or this photograph, I guess, that showed guests walking into the Doctor Strange sanctum when he was talking about this brand new ride. So I thought, from Friday to Sunday at least, that instead of the entrance being at the Avengers sort of Quinjet hangar, it would be through the sanctum. Somehow, some way, I don't know. That's what they showed me. That's what I thought. At least up until Sunday, when everything changed.
You were up on the stage here, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe we should give our D23 fans here a preview of our plans for the parks.
Well,
let's do it.
We're bringing the multiverse to the movies, as you know. We're bringing the multiverse to our series on Disney Plus.
Pause. Sorry, pause. What is that? That's not... Tomorrow, that's not this. That's this. That is completely different.
And now we're bringing the multiverse to Avengers Campus.
Wow, nice.
That's right. And as you heard, as Bob shared on Friday, we are expanding Avengers Campus here in California. When you filled us in on the multiverse, that sent us back to the drawing board for what this could mean to our land. And now, working with your team, Imagineers have come up with a concept that is entirely new.
Entirely new, you say? Is this show building still gonna be a thing? Please say that this show building is still gonna be a thing. No longer are we soaring over Wakanda. Now we are entering the multiverse and battling a brand new villain with all the Avengers from all the different timelines that Disney owns. And while I do think that this purple mist is pretty cool, it's pretty neat, may I raise the fact that this is probably not what the entrance is going to look like. This is what it's going to look like in this concept art because Disney doesn't know what the entrance is going to look like. They wanted to cover it up with some weird purple multiversal mist. That way it can obscure the entrance, obscure the lightning lane entrance, more importantly. Although I do find it somewhat curious they've mixed up the whole sanctum area over here in the corner. What is this big circular thing? The sanctum doesn't have one of those. It has one of these. I've upscaled it as best as I can so we can zoom in and sort of get a better look, and the sanctum looks completely unrecognizable from what is there. So either they're going to completely redo it, or this concept art just used some sort of filler art for the sanctum. It's very interesting though that this is the one part of Avengers Campus that is changed in this piece of concept art. And since the attraction has to do with the multiverse and Doctor Strange is a bit of a multiverse of madness kind of guy, I don't know, I think we could see something happening with the sanctum. With it being part of the multiverse, we've gotten this piece of concept art for the attraction, and yeah, it looks pretty multiversal. Everyone's here, everyone that Disney owns. And while I could go on and on talking about the implications of having Moon Knight and Spider-Man and She-Hulk and Captain Carter all in the same Disney attraction, I want to focus on the logistical side of this, right here at the bottom of the concept art. The ride vehicle. This was the original concept for the Avengers E-Ticket. We would walk into the warehouse and board the Quinjet, and we'd all be together in this sort of simulator type attraction before the safety of the Quinjet, for whatever reason, would fall away, and we would be in our own individual little flying chairs, doing battle with the Avengers in Wakanda as they fought an enemy, and we sort of buzzed around their heads, helping in some way. Maybe. I hope we're helping. Now, a lot of people figured that this would be Disney California Adventure's answer to Flight of Passage over in Orlando, and that's not entirely untrue. It's sort of the next step of the evolution of what began back with Soarin', and it's very personalized, it's individual. You're not part of this clump of people flying around Pandora or California or the Great Wall of China. Instead, you are in your own chair, doing your own thing. I've also heard that it would be a giant projection dome rather than like a giant screen in front of you, if that makes sense. You would go up into this sort of like planetarium style dome rather than just up and forward in front of a big screen. But this new ride system obviously isn't an individual chair or a bench similar to Soarin'. It's a 4x3 orientation and a sort of generic, almost dark ride looking ride vehicle. Now, I'm going to lay before you 3 different theories as to what this attraction could be. Some of them are more plausible than others, some of them are more popular than others, but one I think has the most legitimacy. Because you see, at D23, Disney showed off another ride vehicle in a similar 4x3, 3x4 formation. Because they showed off the ride vehicle for the Peter Pan attraction. No, pan back! Pan back! Wait, you were on that for like 2 seconds, man! Here's a better view of it, since D23 Dallin is good for nothing. 3 rows of, I'm assuming 4, in this ride vehicle. It looks like a generic ride vehicle, too. It's not necessarily a boat, or a sword bench, or an omnimover. It's just something you sit in. And while we don't have too much information on the Avengers E-Ticket, we do have some info on what this Peter Pan attraction is going to be. In the larger of the two attractions, guests board a boat and follow the Lost Boys down a river and fly over Neverland with the help of Tinkerbell's pixie dust to save Wendy's brother John from being kidnapped by pirates. Now, as much as I would love for this to be a physical set dark ride, you know, like Peter Pan's Flight where you're flying over London and Neverland, I don't think that's the case. I think this is going to be a screen-based attraction. That way you can both sail down a river and soar through the air. Now, don't worry, okay? Screen-based doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad or low effort. I know a lot of Disney fans tend to jump to that conclusion. And while I've personally never been, I've heard that the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man over at Universal is amazing. A lot of people like that ride. And take a look at the Spider-Man ride vehicles. Now, does that look at all familiar to you? So, option number 1, it is a simulator screen-based attraction, sort of in the same vein as Spider-Man or The Simpsons from Universal, or Ratatouille from Epcot. I'm hoping it's more of a Ratatouille, because that has physical sets mixed in with the screens. It sort of balances out a little bit, but a screen-based attraction. Although, if you look, none of these people seem to be wearing 3D glasses, which is a good sign. I don't really like having to put on 3D glasses before I get on an attraction. That's always a bit of a deal breaker for me. Option number 2, okay? I think a lot of people are going to prefer this to a screen-based ride, and that is a full-fledged Rise of the Resistance style dark ride. This is what I'm hoping for. I don't think it's going to be this, though. The only reason I think this is even a possibility is because of this piece of art. Again, with the purple multiversal fog covering up the area that was going to be the show building for the original Avengers E-Ticket. The multi-story show building, like Rise of the Resistance. We do, however, run into some problems when it comes to the characters. Look at all of these Avengers from all of these different universes. Okay, Rise of the Resistance mainly uses audio animatronics. There's an odd screen here or there for characters, stormtroopers and the like, but for the main big players, it's an audio animatronic. Hence why a screen-based attraction might be a bit more realistic. Although, Rise of the Resistance blew everyone's minds when it opened, so don't put it past Disney blowing everyone's minds again. Which brings me to the villain, who I haven't really talked about throughout much of this video, and that is, nope, yeah, that guy. Sorry, they just look so similar. Even if Avengers is a simulator type attraction, I really think they should invest in a King Thanos animatronic. They were pushing him really heavily at the D23 panel.
And with the multiverse at Avengers Campus, you're going to be able to do that. And in this new attraction, you're going to be able to battle alongside all the Avengers against all the foes from anywhere, from every win that you can possibly imagine. And you're going to get a new villain named King Thanos. This is a new version of Thanos for the very first time coming into the MCU via this attraction.
Wow.
And he's got a cool white beard too.
Damn it, that is a cool beard. Part of me also wonders about the rewritability of this attraction if it is a full-on dark ride with animatronics and sets. Would it be cool if all of the heroes were on a turntable and every single ride you went through it would turn and do a different hero? Like sometimes Daredevil would be fighting King Thanos, and then another time it'd be Iron Man, and then another time it'd be Moon Knight. I love Moon Knight. Okay, yeah, a trackless dark ride with hundreds of superhero animatronics inside, multi-level with a drop and everything. That sounds awesome. It sounds really awesome. Does it sound realistic, though? No. Listen, everyone, I'm with you. I'm just like you. I think it would be amazing having a next-generation Marvel dark ride for the Avengers, for these Marvel Studios heroes. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think if Disney knew how flat the sequel trilogy was going to fall for Star Wars when it came out, they would probably invest more into Avengers Campus. They would invest what they invested into Galaxy's Edge into Avengers Campus, because that Marvel's way more popular right now than Star Wars, unfortunately, although I do need to finish Andor. But there's one more ride system that not enough people are talking about. It's got all of the advantages of what I mentioned, screen-based and physical dark ride, okay? High capacity, easy to change out, and physical sets and animatronics. No one's talking about this. I'm the only one who's brought it up so far, so why not talk about it? Guys, it's easy. It's an Avengers boat ride. We could just have an Avengers boat ride. Like Small World, like Pirates. Think about it. It's so simple. I mean, think about it. You board at the Avengers dock landing in New Orleans Square and you sail through the bayou of, I don't know, Ted the Man-Thing before going down Namor's waterfall and coming face to face with Captain America himself. I mean, that sort of thing. Listen, I've always been a proponent. I've always sort of said my personal opinion is that physical sets are always better than screen-based attractions. I'm one of those weirdos who prefers Navi River Journey over Flight of Passage. I know, start throwing the eggs. I think Remy's Ratatouille Adventure blends the two very nicely, but imagine this, except you could smell pirate water. Like, come on. Are you not on board yet? Now, I'd say the Avengers E-Ticket has about a 98% chance of being a boat ride in the similar style to Small World and Pirates and River Journey and even like Grand Fiesta Tour, okay? I've started this new thing where I'm starting rumors just completely unsubstantiated, just for fun, just to mess with people. I talked about how the treehouse is going to be rethemed to Tron. I've heard that rumor circulating. I didn't make it up. And now I'm going to say that the Avengers E-Ticket is absolutely going to be a boat ride. I've heard it from insider information. Believe me, I know Tony Baxter. There he is right there. It's a boat ride, folks. Just like, if someone says I don't know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about, okay? I've talked to Imagineers before. And listen, if you haven't made it a boat ride yet, Imagineering, if it's not a boat ride, there's still time. You still have the time to change it, because I don't see this opening for a few more years, to say the least. And that's another thing, release date. I think it would be really cool for the Multiverse E-Ticket attraction to open up in the same year as the Multiverse blockbuster movie, Avengers Secret Wars, which comes out in 2026. Okay, so first, listen to this audience reaction. So yeah, do that. Will it open in 4 years? 4-ish, less than 4 years, maybe. Tron took a while. We all know Tron took a while. We could stop talking about how long it took Tron to get built and opened. It's still not opened. But depending on what kind of attraction it's going to be, boat ride, simulator, physical set, dark ride, boat ride, it could be less or it could be more. Think about it. It's good synergy. Disney opened the Incredicoaster alongside The Incredibles 2, Galaxy's Edge alongside The Last Jedi, and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout alongside Volume 2. It just makes sense. And although at this point in the MCU, Thanos is long gone, unless they bring him back, because this is the Multiverse saga, and this is a different Thanos than the one we see in the MCU, there's a chance. There's a small chance that, wait a second. Maybe this is how they explain all of the different contrasting characters present in Avengers Campus. The multiverse has been opened, it's been broken, and now you have Sam Wilson Captain America, and Steve Rogers Captain America, and T'Challa Black Panther, and Shuri Black Panther. By the way, it's gonna be Shuri, right? We all know that. That would explain why Zombie Captain America can show up at Oogie Boogie Bash, or Werewolf by Night, who is, I believe, part of the MCU at this point. The Space Mountain guy said some weird stuff about that. That way, all of the Avengers Campus will have this, sort of cohesive story of the Avengers practicing, doing their things, recruiting heroes across their California campus, while also having this multiverse story on the side with this new E-Ticket attraction. I think that would really tie the land together. Maybe even meet more characters. Maybe do a King Thanos walk-around character. Something to think about. Now, whether or not it's going to be a simulator, it might even be a roller coaster. I just hope Disney listens to and takes to heart my thoughts about it potentially being a water ride. Because yeah, we have pirates, we have the Pirates water scented candle, but just imagine for a second, if you will, an Avengers water scented candle. Which, brings me to today's sponsor. While the odds of the Avengers E-Ticket being a boat ride are low, we don't have to imagine what it would smell like, right? It would be brominated water, just like Splash Mountain or Pirates, which is why I brought with me the Pirates Life candle from the Magic Candle Company, today's sponsor. It smells, yep, that's King Thanos water, all right, and I know, because it's the Pirates Life candle. It's never too late to give the gift of a Disney scent to your significant other, your child, your parent, or even your school teacher with the Magic Candle Company. Who else? Your favorite cast member? They have room sprays, hand soaps, bath products, candles. The list goes on and on. And be sure to use offer code OFFHAND15 for 15% off of your purchase. You want your house to smell like a Banshee flight, or perhaps the beach resort over at, it's near Epcot. I'm an Epcot guy, it's near Epcot. Visit the Magic Candle Company and tell them Offhand Disney sent you by using the offer code OFFHAND15 at checkout. A very, very big thank you to the Magic Candle Company for sponsoring this video. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm just glad that none of these guests seem to be wearing glasses. That needs to be the takeaway for this Avengers attraction, as long as they keep it so that we don't have to wear 3D glasses while going on this simulator or dark ride or roller coaster, boat ride, on mover. What else do we have? Flat ride. Then it's a success. What do you think? What do you think the Avengers are best suited for? What type of attraction do you think it is? And what type of attraction do you think the original was going to be? That still confuses me. I don't know. Soren-ish in a planetarium? That's what I'm gonna go with. Alright, happy Halloween. I forgot to do the special. Hello everybody, welcome to the end card. This should be the last video for the month. This is like a sort of replacement Halloween special. I was gonna do a nice hour-long huge special, but a lot of things got in the way, and I mean a lot of things got in the way. So instead, we're gonna do this Avengers video, and hopefully Christmas will be better. I do have actually a really cool idea for a Christmas special at Walt Disney World. Keep that in the back of your mind. I did a lot of talking and a lot of footage from D23 in this video, and I just wanted to say this is sort of like the end of the D23 saga I was planning to put out, so I wanted to say a very, 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 very special thank you to my friend Rob for helping make this whole thing possible. Rob, if you're watching this, you know who you are. I'm sorry I was late on this. I realize that, but my genuine thanks. And I hope we can meet up at D23 2024 when I get my own dang ticket. Another big thank you to all of my supporters over at patreon.com. You can see their names scrolling by right now for the month of October. If you want early access to videos, sometimes some special, exclusive content, head over there. The link will be in the description down below, and even just $1 a month gets you access to most of the perks. My supporters over at Patreon are how I help. It's not how I help. You all help keep this channel going, and a massive thank you to you as well. Again, also to the Magic Candle Company for supporting me. Make sure to follow me at Offhand Disney on all of my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me over there, get some exclusive offhand videos over at TikTok. It's really fun. And of course, I always wait until the end to run you through all this, but be sure to like this video if you liked this video. It really goes a long way. And subscribe if you're new around here and want more videos like this, with me just talking about Disney rides, theorizing about Disney rides. That, though, about wraps it up. Again, everyone, I am so sorry about the Halloween special. Maybe it will end up seeing the light of day at some point. I have like half of it done, but like I said, just a lot of stuff happened. So I will make it up to you for the Christmas special, I promise. And I will also see you in the next video. Goodbye.